Hey guys, Tony the Story Assassin. Welcome to today's Smokers Panel Live. Today is supposed to be our Plasencia Day. So what? We wait a few minutes because people usually don't show up until like what 9 or 10. But we'll get a few minutes.
Yes, we will.
I received some cigars, so from what I purchased, and they look pretty good. See, this is such a big difference. I don't know. It looks different. La Union. The La Union Black definitely looks a little bit better. Gold and black. Look at that. La Union Black. They look a little bit better. From what I remember, they look a little bit better. Hey, Richard. Looks a little bit better. So that's the La Union Black. Obviously, I'll do review for them. And here's another one. What I got. I haven't found anything that like I feel like I had to buy a whole box of. But. So I got a little bit of this La Aurora Family Creed. Fuerte Soul. Family Creed. I don't know when this came out, but I haven't found it for a while. But and I got the Crownhead Broadway, which like have this really like big ass logo and everything. This is huge. This cigar's huge. Holy shit. Cigar is 6.5 by 54. It's huge. Your thought on the Down Button Trust Red Meat Lover. I had one today. I thought it was okay. Okay. I am not a big fan of Down Button cigars because majority of the cigar is not meant for people my size. Okay? Not meant for people my size. And this is why I'm not a big fan, because either it's too bold or too strong for me on certain aspects. So I don't particularly like Down Button cigars. And obviously the Brûlé Blue is sweet dipped. Okay. Hey, El Presidente. So today I am smoking the Plasencia Year of the Dry again, because if I don't smoke them, they will dry out on my floor somewhere eventually. So
Here we go.
The dry again. And turn. Here we go. Stop. Up a little bit. More. There we go. We got Plasencia 149 Cosencha.
Oof.
All right. All right. So have some cigar, and our president is smoking Alma Fuerte. Another good cigar. Ah, I forgot about it again. I left my fuel upstairs. Oh well. I used a different lighter, I guess. That's disappointing. All right, fine. Find the cap, cut the cap. Okay. So a lot of people is like, hey, Tony, like, it's just a torpedo head. Just cut it in the slant and it'll be fine. Don't cut too much. Just why the always have to cut so deep. I don't like the draw of these torpedo head whenever you cut in this in like a slant, or whenever you cut too little, because like you are forcing a lot of air force through it when you cut it like that. So
what about a V cut?
they don't do well. It's like sucking through air on a straw, but then like your straw is broken.
So I hear different things about that. Some people prefer to cut the pyramids, the torpedoes. They say, "Oh, the V cut is the one to use. A V cut is the one."
I realize, here's the thing. Yeah, that's what I realize is a straight cut is the king, okay? Because straight cut gets the most even burn.
But don't you find your well, okay. I guess it just depends on what kind of straight cutter you have. I have, I have the one that has the backing on it,
Right.
so I can't really mess it up that much
Mm-hmm.
because I have at times used the cutter with the open end, and I just cut way too much of that cap off. So
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, even if you just decide to rip the opening on the top, you can smoke it. So literally, you don't have to cut that deep, right? So straight cut is the king. When you do V cut, even if you do a V cut, right, there's still a
shallow,
chance to cutting the cap off.
shallow V.
All right, if you do a shallow V, it defeats the point because that's even less of a surface.
But if you, what do they call that cut when you cut it the V this way, then you turn it and you cut it the other way? There's
I
there's a
really think
couple there's a couple of names for it.
that's like, but then when you do that, it's like taking off your pants and fart,
I'm
right? Doing that is like taking off your pants and fart. Essentially, you're cutting more than 80% of the surface off. Why don't you just cut a straight cut?
because you cut it and then you got to cut it and you got to. My experience with a straight cut on a pyramid or a torpedo is I've got to cut it like 3 times
Okay.
to get the good draw. So you're still cutting off.
No, because if you got a bad draw and have to keep cutting down, that means that's construction issue. Because the thing is designed that even if you just rip the surface, you should have enough draw. The reason you had to cut it down is because they have so much tobacco at the end, you can't smoke it. Now that happens, I get it. Sometimes I do have to recut it just to get it more chance to smoke. But that's a construction issue. That's not you issue. Right? Because I really think that when you do that star cut, whatever they want to call it, or cross
Yeah.
cut,
Star cut, cross cut.
yeah, essentially it's like taking off your pants and fart. You can literally fart through your pants, but nope, you gotta make it harder.
That's a little too deep there. A little bit too deep.
It is an Asian term. Like, when there's a lot of time when you do something that's redundant, your elder will be like, why did you just take off your pants and fart? That's an Asian term. All right. It's redundant because you got to cut that much surface off. Why didn't you just cut the top off? And even that, there's no guarantee it's gonna have a good draw.
But it looks nicer.
What part? Is the part that's got it put in the mouth and not seen?
Yeah, but you go like this, it looks nicer.
Does it?
I
Because it
think
looks
so.
like Wolverine just smoked that thing. Right?
Okay, so let me backtrack just a little bit. You're smoking the Year of the Dragon.
Yes.
You smoke. I remember you did the Dragon series. You
Mhm.
remember the Gurkha, right?
Yes.
Do you remember the price point on that Gurkha when it first came out?
The
Roughly.
Gurkha?
The Gurkha Dragon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Gurkha had five different ones. 6 different ones actually. But you're talking
Oh.
about Gurkha, the one Gurkha released.
Yes.
That's $35 a stick. Tony's a hater. He doesn't like anything non-traditional. You know what? I can 90% agree with that statement. 90%. I am a very traditional person. I feel like if there is a tradition, it's because it works and people have done it for a long time. That's why it's a tradition. So I'm a traditional person. So when it comes to anything Asian, traditional. Do it traditional way. Don't do the dumb way, right? Traditional. It's a tradition because people have been doing it for a long, long, long time, right? It's been a tradition that we sit on the toilet and take a shit. Nobody tell you to go upside down and do a handstand and take a shit at the same time. It's just because it's inventive doesn't mean it's useful. Yeah. Very nice. That's what I think. You know, I like invention, but I like things that are done traditional. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense or not. Like I feel like there's a tradition for a reason. Like there's a tradition when you go to a baseball game, take off your hat when the anthem starts, don't kneel, stand up. Tradition. There's a tradition that, doing a wedding, father walks the daughter up. Don't take away that thing for any reason. The most beautiful person on this place should be the bride. Don't show off and decide to wear a bikini, walk into a wedding. Tradition. And if you think that you should go untraditional, go to a wedding dressed like a hooker as a guest, wearing red, then that's you. You want to stand out. But I like tradition. Everybody wear a natural, neutral color. Wedding bride gets to wear all white. All right. And the boys will stay the boys. And you get to mess around until the moment the father walks in with the bride. There you go. Traditional. Innovation, but in a traditional way. That's a tad paradoxical. No, because you can innovate traditional. What kills me is the higher talent try to outdress the bride and groom. No, that shouldn't kill you. That's innovation. That's non-traditional. Tradition is not to do that, right? If you like things that are not traditional, that's what shouldn't kill you. Right? Am I right? I like tradition. Things that are passed down for thousands of years. Not something that hasn't proven to work. Oh, did you guys watch that video where Ken Swanson was saying, um, he was saying that the word that we need to kill is saying fresh to a cigar. The cigar is fresh. And he makes a lot of sense because something that's aged, we'll call it fresh. The cigar has been before it gets to you, it's been at least a year or two in the making, and you call this fresh. It should, but then you wouldn't call it stale either.
So here's my quandary. Okay.
Okay.
You have tobaccos, different tobaccos. Okay, your wrapper, let's say your wrapper is aged 3 years. Your binder is aged 2 years. Your filler is aged 4 years.
Okay.
All right. Now you roll the cigar.
Okay.
The aging process starts at the time the cigar is rolled and put into the cubicle or wheel to start aging as a single unit, but not as separate tobacco leaves, correct?
Yes and no.
Oh, so here we go again.
So you can age the tobacco, and then you'll say that's the age of the tobacco. And you can age the cigar, and you can say that's the cigar that's being aged. So something like a barrel aged cigar that cigar has been put into a barrel to age at the end of it, right? But you have like 6-year tobacco versus 8-year tobacco versus 3-year tobacco. Those tobacco will age separately before it gets to it.
Yeah.
So yes and no. The aging process could be both, right? For example, technically, all right, cool. So technically, Padrones, they age tobacco, they don't age cigars. Okay.
So
And
then those would be okay. So now once they're rolled,
they're boxed and sold.
as soon as they're rolled, they're banded and boxed and sold.
Mm-hmm.
So those are fresh cigars.
But that's the thing. Cigar isn't fresh because before that, it's been through quite a bit of age already, sitting there.
Well, sitting where in the half wheel or the cubicle aging before
Any
it
part
gets.
of it, any part of it, right? A fresh leaf. When somebody hands you a fresh leaf, shouldn't that be green?
Yes, but that's because it has not gone through the fermentation
But okay, that's the
process is
thing.
different than the aging
That's the key.
process.
The word fermentation is far from fresh.
Well, okay, what's our audience saying? Are they commenting about this
Mm.
this thing where them I'm
Not
bringing
yet.
up?
I
Because,
feel like everybody's still settling, and that's why I came up with these things.
okay, well, I mean, so I had okay. I'll
Yeah,
talk about
when you have milk, you wouldn't say, hey, look, my milk is so fresh, it's fermented. When I tofu, like, hey, look, my tofu is fermented. That's fresh. Right? Like tobacco has been through so many steps, you can't call that fresh because it's been worked, set, worked, set, worked, set.
See now I get it. I mean, I get it. I get the aging of the tobacco leaves. I get that part, okay? But my 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 belief, my understanding is the aging process for that cigar does not start until the cigar is rolled and placed in its half wheel or its cubicle.
Okay. Even like that. Every cigar has to sit minimum of 90 days. It's not fresh.
Well, yeah, I would 90, yeah.
Right? Minimum 90 days. And then go through transit, box transit, and everything before you reach the store. It's not fresh.
But I it's not fresh. It's 90 days. Okay, so that 90 days is not considered the aging, it's considered the rusting period.
Yeah, because the flavor changes until 90 days.
Okay, so 90 days of rusting, and day 91, the aging process starts.
If you want to call that, but it really isn't.
I mean,
Because day 91 is being packaged and boxed.
so there's no
So
aging.
aging is really what I think is aging is that you buy a product from the store, you open it up, you take it out, and part of that is storage. Storage before boxing or after boxing. I think that's part of the aging process.
No, see now, for me, it's the aging process is before the boxing. Once you get it boxed,
So you don't age your cigars? You don't like, oh, I'm gonna let it sit a couple of years and see what happens.
Well, that's the other. That's the other. That's like
So you do age
question
your cigar.
two. That's like question two.
It's not because your statement, the term used is aging. That's the problem. If you age something, it can't be fresh because of word aging. So we can't go to the store and buy new cigar because they're technically not new. They're newly boxed. Actually, no, some of them are opened. Some of them are open and put it there for days, for weeks, for months, for years. Right? In theory, they're just unsmoked.
So I mean, okay, so I buy a box of cigars. Let's say I buy a box of cigars today.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, I don't know how to phrase this. All right, so I buy. Okay, so the tobaccos are already they're fermented, they're aged. The cigar is put together. It's put in its cubicle or its half wheel for what the 90-day rest period. Then they're taken out, banded, they're celloed, they're placed in a box. Let's be generous with the time frame. Let's say 3 months from point A to the store. Okay, so I'm just being generous on time. It may take
Okay,
less time, may take more time.
To ship from factory and all that stuff takes about 3-4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks. Okay, so let's say a month. Let's say a month. Okay.
Okay.
So now it gets to the store. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that box. As soon as it gets to the store, I get it. I get it within days. Now I take it home. And I do one of two things. I leave it in a box,
Mm-hmm.
stick it in my humidor, or I take it out of the box and stick it in my humidor. Now the aging starts.
Now the storage starts.
No, because it's not it's aging.
Yeah, it's aging even if you didn't take it out of the box. It's still the age still continue to add up, right? Because from the bottom of the box where the production day is, it starts to age.
I'm talking too much. Oh,
Does that make sense? You're
I mean,
you
yeah,
don't
I get it,
stop.
but
You don't stop the time. It's not like a whiskey. Once it's bottled, the time stops. Does that make sense? Why my
yeah,
cigars
I
plugged
mean,
today? Just at the edge of it. Come on. Okay. Right? It's a product that continues to get older and it cannot be fresh because it's a product meant to be older. Right? You can say I got a fresh head of vegetables because from that point it expires. Right? So the point that you got it earlier the better, the fresher it is. But if you get something that meant to be aged, older the better, it's not meant to be fresh.
all right. So okay, so all right. So here we go, Tony. Here we go. Your cigars. Your
Okay.
cigars that you have in your area right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's got to be one or the other. I understand it's probably both. It could be considered both. For the ones that are outside of your humidor,
Okay.
I would consider those as being stored and not aged. Because if they're
Outside
in
of
a
my humidor
humidor,
is
I
being
consider the
stored, not being
humidor as an
aged.
aging process.
All right. I'll disprove you on that one in a minute. Go
Okay,
ahead.
wait a minute. Now I know that your climate, where you're at is at set, and your humidity at where you're at is at set. And that could also be considered as part of that aging process for those cigars that are not in the humidor.
Because literally they have a brand called aging room,
Yeah.
meaning they put it in the place a room to age
Yeah,
at a
yes. And
set
I
at a set temperature and a set
look at
humidity.
look at I know a couple of lounges in my area that have aging rooms
Right.
and
Like that's
separate
like
a separate room from the rest of the humidor in the shop
humidor
area.
is essentially a container,
Oh my.
right? Humidor is essentially a container where you can keep temperature and humidity. President, I have to answer your question a little bit later because when they say fresh water, it means a running water, right? So it has to be running, meaning
Well, yeah,
refresh
because
and run
if
through
there,
a filter, a rock. It has to be running
yeah,
to call it
if
fresh
there's no
water.
move, yeah, if
If
there's
not
no
movement, it's called
movement,
still water.
if there's no movement of the water, then it's stagnant.
Mm-hmm. It's still water, and still water will collect bacteria because they're sitting there. So they're saying that fresh water is the one that kind of rain. Because back in the day, water rains on the mountain and start rolling down, and the running water is called fresh water because those are from the rain. They're fresh, they're new.
Yeah, yeah, even the mountains with the snow caps, as it melts, it goes down the mountain, and as it's traveling down, it's being filtered through all that rocks and
And
sand or
again, that's
whatever.
a term different too because in Chinese we don't call it fresh. We call it from the nature water. So like if we got for the tap, it's from the nature water. Um, and bottled water we call it spring water. So either from the nature or spring. Or automatic water. We call it automatic water from the pipes. Automatic water. So it's the term. But like cigar, so for something to be fresh on something that needs to be aged, it's a negative term. And fresh is essentially being young, right? But we're not using the word young. We should have been using the word young, yes. But there's no fresh cigar. The cigar is not fresh. It's not supposed to be fresh. It's not supposed to be stale either. So I don't think that's a term or like positive negative term, kind of thing. But if something not meant to be aged and aging is part of the positives of the cigar, why would you use a opposite term to describe the cigar? That's the idea, right? When you pick up a cigar, you're like, ooh, this cigar is nicely aged, nicely fermented, and those two are the opposite of a fresh cigar, right? Because people tend to like, oh, this is a freshly rolled cigar. We don't use newly rolled. We use freshly rolled. But it wouldn't be fresh. Because in theory, the cigar has been sitting in the press for a day. That's not fresh anymore. Right? The tobacco has been like, when it comes in a bale, it's not fresh. It's been there who knows how long. Right? And then you take it out and you roll your cigar, freshly rolled. You roll it, you gotta fill it in the binder, and you put it in the mold. And once you put in the mold, you have to wait another 24 hours. It's not fresh anymore. Only thing that's fresh is that wrapper that has been sitting who knows how long to roll over a cigar, which is still not fresh. And that's the thing about English, right? A lot of terms like obviously don't make sense, right? It's like when you're waiting for a green light, you're really waiting for the red light. You're waiting for the red light to go away. Like it's an English thing. I think that's an English problem. Because I don't think Asian ever like in Asian language would never call a cigar fresh. How is the cigar? You know, the cigar is woodsy, has a little bit of licorice and star anise, a little bit of baking spice, a little bit of tingly spice, a little bit of what do they call that? A mineral walnut kind of thing. Um, I think it's not bad, but a lot of time when I smoke a Plasencia, I always want to compare with the Alma Forte because I think that's one of the best thing they made, and Alma Forte wins majority of the time. Whether it's the price, overall bang for the buck, enjoyment level, flavor, construction, the feel when you hold it in your hand, when you have it like a Solomon on your hand, all that stuff. I think Plasencia made a monster for themselves to beat, and a lot of time they fail to beat it, including this Year of the Dragon. I don't think he beats Alma Forte. I really think Alma Forte is the bomb. Like you can't go wrong. Like you can buy 15, 20, 50 boxes of Alma Forte at home, and I wouldn't say that's a bad choice. I'll be that's amazing because that wouldn't be a bad choice. If you want, if I had to comment on it, I'll be like that's amazing because that's one cigar I think has proven itself over and over and over and over. Right? There's some cigars just like, damn, when they make this, they hit the jackpot. That is gonna make them famous. Done. That's one of those cigars. But for this, yeah. And the Coseca, I think I think the concept is cool, but I think they put themselves in a dilemma of almost buying like a single barrel whiskey situation. Is that there's no way to be consistent. There's no way to be to really see again ever, and there's no way to compare or quality check because there's no other ones. The next one is not the same. So, and I think every number, I think okay. The 140 somethings are good. Some people, I think 149 is the worst, and 151 some people like it. Like it's a love or hate for 151. And but then that proves that that particular cigar has a problem. The problem is inconsistent. I think they can do good, but again, if you compare all that to Alma Forte, not even close. The only thing that go remotely beating Alma Forte at times is probably the Alma Fuego. It's a very opposite
Fuego?
kind of spectrum, but that's pretty much the only thing that can come close to beat it on their own arsenal. But that's just what I think. So a lot of time, if I had to buy Plasencia, it's either a limited edition of some sort or Alma Forte. And Alma Forte is very easy to age. Just put it there. You're just oil, you get toothy, easy. Easy stuff. And it does make you look like a badass to have such a big cigar in your hand. Either the Sixto or the Solomon. badass, right? And if you can't handle out that much, they sell smaller size now.
Hmm.
So they have done everything right for that cigar. Like everybody demands, oh, can I smoke a little bit because I had to work? You can only have 30 minutes. There you go, smaller size. So I think, yeah, that cigar, all of this world. I did smoke the EPC Silk.
Okay.
Right now it's members only, and you will be released for everybody, I think, Monday or Tuesday. And that cigar, if you're a female, go find it right now. If you like sweet cigar, go buy it right now. It's got to be gone by the time that thing comes out, I'm telling you. But that cigar is amazing. That cigar is pretty amazing. Hey, Jesse. So, yeah. But I have a few more to review. I have to just sit down and start putting them together as a video. But yeah, I think that's probably the best cigar I smoked this past 2 weeks.
The Silk.
The Silk.
I went searching for it, and they don't have it at my lounges.
Yeah, you had to look for online because I think it's just got cleaned out. And I think that is a limited release. I don't think that's a regular release.
Okay.
But yeah, that is quite an amazing cigar. Now, obviously, I smoked the other cigar that has a Candela wrapper on it and was pretty amazing, but only at the Candela end, really. So I wouldn't consider that as amazing as the Silk. But Silk, amazing. Untraditional. And if they decide to make that regular cigar in various sizes, and they can control the flavor a little bit better, I think that flavor cigar will go out of business. That's just what I think. I might be wrong. Who else are we having on the show right now? Like 6 people. I can't tell who's the sixth. They should really allow people to show up so I know who's actually lurking. But Plasencia is an enjoyable cigar to smoke. I mean, regardless which one you choose, you can blind pick. Plasencia is probably got to be good. To an extent. I'm not saying that it's like, oh, every Plasencia, oh my god, no. But like every cigar from Plasencia, I think you can pick up and go smoke it. That's not bad. Yeah, works. There's just always something that leaves to desire. Leaves to desire. Cigar's one of those things. Today I went to grocery shopping. Just for Val, I pushed the push cart all the way back to the door. Somebody was there collecting the cart. And he wanted me to just give the cart to him. I ignored him.
I mean,
I ignored him.
Yeah, you have the guy out, or guy or girl out there that takes them from the cart corral, I call it. And oh yeah, no, just give it to me. I got it. Well, okay, fine. But it still bugs me.
No, I choose not to give him this time. Usually I'll give it to him. They have this thing that tied it. They press the button, it will push the car back. It's like an automatic thing. He's like, yeah, just give him the car, man. Because usually I'll just give him the car and give him $2. So they're like, nah, I gotta push this back. It's all set. He wasn't happy. push all the way back to the door. If you had one last cigar to ever smoke, what cigar would it be? You could put any cigar regardless the price.
If you had one,
I think I'll pick that $1 million cigar because that's one cigar I would never try to pay the money for it. I'll go out with a bang. And not to mention, I'll probably say this cigar sucks and rip it apart. But I didn't pay for it, so. Right? I'll leave that diamond with my wife and like, okay, goodbye. You know. And I can finally say, this cigar sucks so much it kills me. And it dies. Right? I can choose either or. Either this cigar is so good, I can die in peace and go, or I can say this cigar sucks so bad, I'm gonna die, and actually die. But yeah, I will smoke most expensive cigar you can find. That is not that is not pre JFK.
Yeah, the most expensive cigar you can find. And what happens if it's
I just said. I mean, at least I tried it. And I'll make that statement. I'll make either it's so good I died or it's so bad I died. And I think that will leave on a positive, funny note, rather than I die because of X cost, whatever that is. It's funny that you say that because like today I was driving, my wife was like, you know, you're halfway through the grade. So yeah, I got another one more set to go. It's like exercise, one set to go. I think 40 is a set. When you reach 40, you have been through one set of your life. You have experienced everything that you need to survive. At 40. And the rest is a repeat of seeing another person experience that. Because technically, once you're 40, what else are you trying to accomplish? Right? So, Val, at 40, what was your goal to accomplish?
Hey, I tell you what. Growing up, I honestly believed that I would not live past 21.
Okay, because the military, because the war.
Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah, because when I went to the military, I was at the end stages of Vietnam, and I was, I was one of the lucky ones because I was scheduled to go to be the relief as we were pulling out, and literally my orders were canceled after the lineup. It was canceled. Now at 40, you know what? I never really thought about it that way.
Right? Okay, so like,
Never.
before 40, your goal was to live well, have a job, have a career, have a family, have a house, have a car.
Okay, no. So here was no. My goal by that's pretty interesting to say, because pretty much along that lines, but my sole goal was that growing up, I said when I get married, if I get married, that I want to have X amount of kids, and now this may be old fashioned, but I wanted to make sure that my wife would be at home to be with the kids.
Okay, that's I can say have a job, have a career.
Yeah, that was, and I would do whatever I had to do. I would do, and I had worked 2 jobs to make that happen, because it was so important for me that the mom be there for the kids. And my sole thing was that to provide. So I don't know I think I don't know if I was. I'd like to think I became a a, a a good father and a good husband, but I really thought of myself as a more of a provider.
Sure, sole provider too,
Yeah, yeah,
which is fine. Which is what I expected. Pretty much every guy should have that thought, right? At one point, to an extent, which I think is normal. And I think before 40, that was my goal to achieve, to have a good life where my wife can enjoy anything she needs, right? To have a good job, to have enough money, to have houses, to have cars, so that we pretty much have the needs of living, right? And after that, everything else is want, not needing anymore. Everything else is bonus, in my opinion. Everything else is bonus. So I don't get very disappointed if I don't get something, because at this point everything's bonus. And that's why I was talking about how um you just live one set of life. Because if you did that before 40, you're set. You're all set. Right? If you had that before 40, you're all set. If you don't have that before 40, you got a lot more work to do. You are catching up. Right? Because your body starts to deteriorate at this point. You cannot do as much as you used to want to do. And you also don't have advantage at the working space. So you had to do that before that. 40, you set everything up for the next 40. That's just my opinion. I think you spend 40 years to set everything up for your next 40. In your next 40, you're supposed to watch your descendant to do that same 40. Because if you do too much after that, you're doing too much. Keep in mind, in ancient times, back, emperor and stuff like that, people get married in their teens and dies in their 40, 50s.
yeah.
So 40 is one set. You need to do all that before 40. In my opinion. Now, that could be traditional, but I think by 40, you do that. So after that, you can enjoy the rest of it. You still have to work, yes, but you set it up. Being someone that's 40, 50-year-old and looking for a job is super hard.
It's that it's that it's that saying that I grew up with. You wanna play now and work later,
Mm-hmm.
or do you want to work now and then play later?
But then here's the thing, right? People say, well, you're too old to play.
Well, depending on what kind of play you're talking about. Yeah, and I get that, but um you want to I think you want to be at a point where you don't have to work as hard or work as long to
No, because you'll be working forever.
yeah.
Work is work forever. Now, what I think is you play as hard as you want all the way to 24. All right? Given that you got everything done, like you do your education, you do all that stuff, right? You do what your job is, and your job is to study, to learn how to handle your next 20 years, right? So before you are 24, you try everything that you can possibly try. Go break a leg, you know? And after 24, you use everything that you ever learned and work like hell and to get everything that you need by 40. After 40, do whatever. After 40, just work and live your life the way it is until you're 67. Another set of 20 something years. And you retire. But when you retire, you choose what you want to do now. You can continue to do a little work. You can travel the world if you have enough saved up. You can just at home watch your kids and just basically don't do too much and you'll live well. Right? Increments of 20 something years, and by 40 is one set, and then another 20 something years of working, you are all set. You just watch. Because at that point, all the life you get is a bonus. It really is. Like in today's technology, we got bonus life. Somebody found a Konami Chico and just live longer. But that's the thing. Live longer also means that you have less money to live on. But our president needs to figure out what he got to smoke for his 50th. When's your 50th? Another 10 years? Our president
No,
is
you know what? You worry about that when you're 50. You don't worry about that now.
our president. I thought you just had your birthday, or your coming up birthday, and I thought that one you already decided what to smoke. I thought that one you already decided what to smoke. I thought you were gonna, bring ITS and share with everybody. What happened? I mean, here's the thing, right? You can decide what you want to smoke right now, but it's really better to just choose on that day. How do you feel like it? And take out whatever you have that you like to smoke.
Yeah, look in your on that day, depending on how many cigars you want to do a 3 cigar day. Smoke something in the morning, smoke something in the afternoon, smoke something late evening or at nighttime. Go look in your humidor and look and see what you got and say, you know what, it's time for this one. Pick up. But yeah,
I don't think there's a wrong choice. I don't think there's a wrong answer. Everything that you have in your humidor is something that you choose to buy, right? And if it's still in your humidor, you choose to keep it, right? So there's no wrong choice, right? What bring your son or your best friend, go to your humidor and say, hey, pick one. We're gonna smoke something special.
So
Anything, blind draw.
so let me present this question to him right now, Presidente. You pick out. I don't know if he has children or whatever, but let's say he does, and your son smokes, one son, two son, whatever, and you pick out those cigars to smoke because you want to smoke those cigars with your boys and your girls if they smoke as well. And for whatever it may be, it doesn't happen. You're there, the cigars are there, but the boys don't show up, the kids don't show up. So what do you do? Do you still smoke it? Because your preparation and your time frame and your thought process is, I'm pulling these cigars out because on this day and this special occasion, I want to smoke them with them. And now all of a sudden, whatever it may be, they're not able to be there. Do you smoke that cigar or do you put it off to the next event, to the next birthday?
Yeah, I really think that cigar itself, right? It's not really what you choose for the day. It's what you choose to remember the day. So the cigar itself is catalyst. You can have more than one. You can have 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So everything that you smoke, it's gotta be a good memory. If you smoke it, right? Even the shittiest one, you'll laugh about it, right? If somebody decides to get, hey, smoke a factory smoke on your birthday, it'll be funny. Or somebody hands you a lunatic, make you smoke that for your birthday, you'll still think it's funny, right? It's still fun. It's still good. And I think that's the most important part is you have fun, you have good. Now, I obviously does not answer your question, why should you be smoking? But here's the thing, right? You're smoking good cigar every day, that there is no wrong choice. Does that make sense? You automatically got to enjoy. You already enjoy your life every day. You gotta smoke something nice every day. So there's no wrong choice because everything you bought is something you like. So I wouldn't restrict yourself to certain. You're gonna just smoke something fresh. Then that means something you just bought. Something you just bought. Right? So I think that's the thing. Like I used to think it's cool to save a cigar for certain like events and stuff like that. But I find that a lot of time when it gets to that event, we end up not smoking that cigar. We end up for
Yeah.
something else because you always find something else. So it's best
Yeah.
not to make that plan and decide the day off, and then you just go to a humidor. It'll be very easy. Take out your carrying humidor and just go to your cigar drawer. You'll find things like, oh, I haven't smoked this for so long, I forgot about it. I want to smoke this. Boom. You know, so I think that's the best way to choose a cigar.
I'd say what I have a hard time is when you have cigars. Let's say the dragon. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you bought a box of dragons, and as you smoke through them, now you get down to the last one or two,
Okay, and you choose not to smoke it because they
and you
only have one or
say
two.
you only got two left, and now you can't can't find them anymore because they don't make them anymore, whatever. And you just I can't do it because once they're gone, they are gone. And it's like it makes to me it's just something that makes your humidor outstanding.
Yeah, and a lot of time, like what you plan is not what you plan. Like I have a box of the Atafal I was saving for something. Now that would never happen, and just have a box in there sitting.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can plan for something, but you can't plan for changes. So just go to humidor and pick whatever that make you thought about it on the spot. Right? If I offer $10 million, you could never smoke a tobacco again. Would you take it? Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I would too.
I don't have to work for a few years. Yeah, I would. And
Yeah,
I
I
will
mean,
take that $10 million and build a dog park.
I give up those cigars and start building up my bourbon collection.
Yeah, I'll find another
you,
hobby to do.
you can find something else, yeah.
Because tobacco, like I say, I mean, cigar is a catalyst. It helps you to have a conversation, a good time, and stuff like that. But there's got to be one day you can no longer smoke. So I can find other hobby because eventually hobby dies. Every hobby has a day that ends. Every good thing has an ending. So it's just telling me to give up something that that entertains me for now, and then to entertain something else. Fine. $10 million, I go find some other hobby to do. I don't even need 10 million to give up cigar. Heck, you give me $10 million just because I can't smoke tobacco again, does not mean I can't go make more cigars. I can do $10 million, start a few lounges, and still have fun and chat and just not smoke. Like Jonathan Drew. Right? Work in the factory, but does not smoke at all. Right? $10 million, you can do a lot of different things. Especially is after tax, 10 million. After tax 10 million, I will probably take 3 years off with my wife. And go to different places. That she haven't been before. And do other things. $10 million, I'll probably go buy preferred share of Bandai. So all my model collection will be easily obtained. Right? I still buy model kits, even though I don't have time to do it.
That was going to be my question. Yeah. Do you have time to dabble with them?
I don't. I have a whole entire room full of it.
Okay. So not don't tell me you're the person that once you start it, you can't stop it until it's done.
Once I open it, I have to finish it.
Oh, okay.
So I know once I open it, I had to sit in front of my table for 3 months. Which I can't. Or else I would. My wife asked me about it. It's like, what about when you don't record a cigar video anymore? Like when you can't smoke cigar anymore, or you choose not to do that anymore? I said, I'll sit down, put a camera in front of my table, and just do Gundam all day and just stream that. I can do that. That's fine. So I always have another hobby I can do. $10 million, I can probably go and make my own bourbon. Just for the heck of it. $10 million, I'll go give my mom a lump sum to retire and say, I'm not going to send you any more money. This is all you got to get. My mom just 2 days ago, she was calling me about she broke her leg.
Oh.
Yeah. Because the thing about that Japanese doorway is that there's always a foyer. Every Japanese house has a foyer. At foyer, there's a step down.
She forget about it?
She had a stroke a long time ago, so sometimes she cannot move her leg as good.
Okay.
So she needs regular Botox to keep that nerve working. And she was late by a week. So her leg wasn't working that well, and she tripped. And when she tripped, she cracked her bone. So she broke it. Fractured. Well, not even fractured. Like, basically, she needs...
Does she need pins?
She needs 5 pins in her bones. Or screws, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, screws, pins, yeah.
So she got to go for a surgery. And she's calling me about how scared she's scared of the surgery. I said, Mom, you had a stroke. You already have a surgery. You've been through this before. She said, yeah, I'm so scared. Why if something going on? I was like, it's a leg surgery. That never goes wrong.
Okay.
With today's technology, it rarely goes wrong, especially just put pins in there. The only thing that's going to go wrong, infection, if you don't listen to their changing schedules and medicine. And somebody left a like cotton ball in there or instrument in there. Those things are very, very rare. Like, they don't even talk about the success rate of a surgery like that. You don't sign a waiver. It's just the way it is. It's such a simple thing, like little kid break their leg. Right? I was like, that's nothing to worry about. You got to go in there one way, you got to come out the same way. Because right now she had a cast on her leg. So the fracture is in the lower femur near to her ankles, very close. So I was like, you already have a cast on. You got to go walking with a cast. You got to come out with a cast. And you got to be on the bed for a few months. That would be fine. She said, but I had to be on the bed for a few months. It's like, Mom, I was just on the bed for a few months. Because I broke my ribs. So you broke your ribs? Yeah, it's not a big deal. The bones are there to protect you. They will break. So she's like, oh, okay, but I'm still scared. You know? And I was like, there's nothing even scared. You already have a surgery. You don't even know about it. You go in there, they make you count down from 10 to 1, and next thing you know, you woke up. You don't know anything in between. Your leg still gotta hurt, but your leg hurts right now.
That's true. Yeah, once you're under anesthesia and you're out, that time seems like you just closed your eyes and you open them, you feel like it's only been 10 minutes and hours have gone by.
It's already like, 10, 15 hours, and then after that you slept for a few more hours. And you woke up. You won't even know. Your leg's gonna hurt? Yes. It's gonna hurt a little bit more than right now. Yes, because they cut it open. But your hurts right now. And then, not to mention, they're gonna give you a lot of medication to make you not as much pain. So it'll be fine. Yeah. I don't know why she's so paranoid about it. And here's the thing, right?
Well, Cole, hold on. You know why she is, right? How old is your mom?
I'm gonna say 68, 69, maybe something like that. She's older than my. Oh no, she's in the 70s because she's older than my mother-in-law. So yeah.
That's why.
No, but then that's the thing. The doctor says you are gonna lie there for longer than usual because you're older.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't change anything. Like I said, my mom has had a stroke, so she lost body function of her left side a lot. So majority she lies there. Majority of the day she just watch TV. She doesn't do it a lot. So it's not gonna be that different. She can walk her cat there. So I know that a lot of time when you don't have as much of common medical knowledge, it's fearful. But today's technology is so advanced that the failure rate is so low. On certain, like it's not open chest surgery, it's not open heart surgery, it's not open brain surgery. It's a bone fracture surgery. It rarely fails.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. The technology and the procedures are so far advanced than they were 50 years ago.
Now she only showed me the
40
X-ray
years ago.
of the doctor drawn out where the pin's gotta be. There was no physical fracture, meaning bone did not break apart.
Yeah.
So I think that they can probably do a minimum invasive one too. And then she just have like 6 holes on her leg. It wouldn't be that bad. I don't think they're doing the entire leg brace with the thing in there. So. All right, so Robin says, "Hey Tony, Val, all of you stick smokers out there. I'm non-smoking tonight. Okay, I'm not smoking tonight. I have a cold. I hope you get better soon. How is the cigar you got tonight? Good, not too bad. Any day that I get to smoke a cigar with somebody, regardless whether the cigar is bad, the cigar automatically turns good. And that's truth. When I review the cigar, I can tell you the cigar sucked, right? Because I'm focusing on a flavor a lot more than not. But when I'm having a conversation, I'm focusing more on the conversation than the taste. Mm-hmm. So unless the cigar is absolutely bitter, like when we're talking about certain bitterness that you just don't like, most cigar will turn good. Now, before I have the conversation, if the cigar is bad, I'll tell you. I'll put the cigar down. But if during the cigar starts turning back, I'll still smoke it. That was like, yeah, what? Yeah, before I start to have the conversation, I put it. I start lighting it up. I taste it. If at that point it's bad, put it down. But if I'm out in the beginning, it was fine, and I have a conversation, the cigar turns bad, I probably wouldn't pay that much attention to it.
Oh, you'll work through it. You smoke through it.
Because a lot of time it will be you're smoking, and all of a sudden go, ooh, what is that? That's disgusting. All right, but I'll still keep going. But that's just me. A lot of people are different. I know a lot of people that I met in Taiwan. They have this thing. Okay, most people I met in Taiwan spend more than 2 hours to smoke their cigar. And if they don't finish it, they will literally keep it and then smoke it later.
So what do they carry a tin with them to put it in there?
No, they just do whatever they do and then come back to it later.
Oh.
I've seen people just carry a cigar that has stopped burning to the next place, and when they're ready, they light it up again. Because cigar to them is very expensive over there. So they don't want to waste it, regardless. They will pick up another person's cigar and say, I'll finish it for you.
Oh.
I think this is one of the different things. Over here, I won't smoke my cigar and go, Val, taste this. Right? Val, you will never do that too. You'll take a puff and go, taste this.
No.
In Taiwan, we will.
Well, I will. It. I probably would with a woman, but not with a guy.
Bunch of guys were sitting over there, we're chatting, and then we just smoking. And he's like, "Ooh, this thing tastes different. Here you go. There you try it." And then he pick it up and he try it. And then he's like, "There you go, Tony. You try it. I'll pick it up and try it."
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it because it's such a normal thing. Well, unless the person had a cold or something like that, that's different, right? Or the person's like, "Oh, I'm sick. I can't do it." But I think that it's such a normal thing, like between friends. So we're just like, "Hey, Dio, you want to try this? Try that." At the cigar shop,
Oh yeah, look. Hey, remember we were at the lounge and the guy.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that guy?
Which guy?
That guy that we were talking to, and with the ITS cigar, and he was smoking it,
Mm-hmm.
and his buddy took it, and his buddy hung on to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gave it back to him. I mean, he hung on to it. And I thought
And at the time, we were guessing whether or not they were a couple.
yeah. I'm thinking to myself, man,
because it's such a non-American culture. It's such a non-American culture. But in Taiwan, I don't even think about that. I didn't even thought about it until afterward. Because it's just so natural. That, oh, let me try it. Oh, there you go. And like I said, in the shop, right? So the shop guy, he was giving a worker over there to try a cigar. It's a mini cigar, it's a flavor cigar. And she didn't like it. She hated it. She put it down. And he's like, I'm going to finish it for you. It's normal.
She put it down. She.
Right. I get it. But even if that's a guy, I think he'll pick it up and finish it. Just didn't want to waste the cigar.
I get it because, it's expensive and you only took several puffs on it and you're discarding the entire, pretty much the entire cigar. No, I'm not going to let that go to waste.
But do you know where? Okay, Robert says, do you know where? But do you know where and what that woman's lip has been on? At least for the past 8 hours, he knows because she's working. Well, the thing is that we don't go and think about that.
No,
we don't go and think about that, right? And then Jesse say, "Why is it okay to pass the blondes around?" I think at that point you're high, you don't care. It's just I don't know. I wouldn't think about that to do that. Just like we think that is rude to wet your cigar before you use a common cutter. And I also think that has to do with whether or not you know the person. You know the person, and I mean that makes it different. I guess it may feel more comfortable. But I forgot to think about it. I just did it. I forgot to think about it. I didn't think it was weird or anything. At the moment, I didn't. At the moment, I didn't. Afterward, I think it was weird. I know. I didn't even think it was weird. I just thought about it. I was like, oh, didn't I just try some of the cigar? Okay, that's weird. And that was it. But it's a common practice. Like a lot of time in Asia, I'll eat something. I'm like, ooh, this thing tastes weird. You want to try some? And they'll try some. But over here, you wouldn't. So there's always like, I think like when I grew up in the US, there's always like the backwash or whatever. But like when I was a kid in Taiwan, we were like sharing a bottle of water. Or share a bottle of drinks, normal. I think it's a nowadays thing. That we no longer do it. Because then as an adult, like Robert kind of asked, like where has that lip has been on kind of stuff. But you don't really think about that. You don't go out and say, hey, that person's lip has been somewhere that you don't want to know. You don't think about that, right? He's a friend. You don't think about that. But Robert, let's just go down the gutter for 1 second. Regardless where that woman's lip has been on, you'll still allow her to put a lip on you. So that point was moot point because you'll still allow it. You're like, I don't care where that has been. I'm about to get some. So you will still take it. So that's still a moot point. I don't know. At least I think so. On the side note, I know there's gotta be like a really weird storm coming up. So be safe, everybody. I don't think it's gonna be that bad, but be safe. I know some places gotta get freezing temperatures, and some places that have like heat coming back for some reason. But be safe. Hey, Robert says, well, that's true. So yeah, like, I just feel like that's normal. That's a friendly thing to do. Like, Asians, we share plates, we share food, right? Like whenever you go to Asian restaurant, you order a meal, it's not individual, it's like multiple food to share. So we have shared in our culture normally. I also don't like to set my cigar on an ashtray in lounges because I've seen some cigar on an ashtray that the cap is so moist. Somebody had finished their cigar. I use my lighter for my cigar. Yes. Sometimes I've seen people wipe down their ashtray when they dust it off.
The rest?
Yeah, he's talking about the rest because some people, they get it super wet and then put on the rest and it touches the rest. But I feel like at that point, I try not to put my cigar where the lip part touches the edge of it. And the rest, even onto the body of the cigar, you burn through it anyway. Most bacteria don't survive past boiling point for 18 minutes. So I don't worry about it too much. We all gotta get sick. All right, bacteria is out there. We all gotta get sick. So I don't really worry about that. I think getting sick is good. People say, what the hell? I think people who doesn't get sick is a problem. People who does not get sick is a problem. My mother-in-law thinks I'm crazy when I tell her that because she never gets sick. She rarely gets sick. And
then you have a low immune system then.
Huh?
You'll have a low immune system then.
Exactly. When you don't get sick, your immune system isn't that active. It's not telling you that something has invaded your body and then give a response, right? Chinese have a saying that stupid people don't get sick. Chinese is saying stupid people don't get sick because their immune system is so dumb, they don't know they got sick. So I think getting sick is good. It boosts your immune system. It makes your thing aware. It's like, if you think your immune system as an army, it's an army well-trained and army that hasn't been working for a while. You want the army that's well-trained. You always have a new army, constantly. Your white blood cell is always new. Your T cell is always new. They get some information from the previous people that's on shift. Say, hey, watch out for these bacteria. And they go, okay. But do they really remember? You don't know that. They remember part of it. Kind of. But if you get sick, they have gone through their battle and they'll remember. So getting sick is good. And literally, that's how a vaccine works. Is make sure that they went through a battle once. Which is funny because some vaccine you take it once in your lifetime and never take it again. It's weird. Like Val, how many times did you take your smallpox vaccine?
Hell, I don't remember. I don't remember.
You take it one time, you never take it again. I remember when I didn't have enough medical knowledge. I was like, if we can get sick one time, never get sick again, why do we get cold so often? Common cold every year. But now that you know, you're like, okay, I should, and I try to get cold at least one time per winter. I'll pick a good time. I'm gonna get sick for a week. How do you get sick for a week? You go on a trip. You go on a
Exposure,
trip.
right?
Yeah.
Exposure. Although, yeah.
So you see, I'll go on a trip during the winter. I'll go on a trip during like mid-May, just so that I can expose myself to disease.
Develop that passive immunity.
And when I come back, I always got sick. I always get sick. Whenever I go somewhere, I come back, I always get sick. But I'm good for the next 4 or 5 months once I get sick. Because you already got your seasonal illness. I scheduled to get my second shingle shot, my first RSV shot on Monday. Single shots are very important once you reach a certain age, especially when you're over 40. You should definitely get shingles because once you get shingles, it sucks. So yeah, get your shingle shots. I should go get my shingle shots. A lot of times, you see, whenever I go to my doctor says, you're too young for shingles. The recommended age right now is in 45, 46. You're too young. It's like, dude, couldn't I try to protect myself early? Yeah, having shingle sucks. Once you have it forever. The shingle virus is in you forever. So yeah, get it done. It's like Lyme disease. Hate Lyme disease. Lyme disease is such an American disease. We don't even have Lyme disease in Asia. When I went back to Taiwan, my wife asked about ticks. In Taiwan, we don't have ticks. We don't even know what that is.
You have no ticks?
We have no ticks.
You have no deer?
Well, we have deer in Japan, but they don't have ticks.
No, come on.
I'm being serious. I don't know what ticks. We had to look it up what ticks is in Chinese because there's no term for it. And when I found the term, I asked anybody. Nobody know what that is. My wife is like, "Oh, look at all those grass must be filled with ticks." So we're like, "We don't have ticks here. It doesn't exist." And she's like, "No." And I was like, "Really? Like, I can ask anybody you want." And then we look it up what ticks is in Chinese because I don't even know. Ticks is such a thing that's over here. So I was like, "Does anybody know what ticks is?" Nobody knows. Nobody knows. We don't have ticks. We don't. We have fleas. We don't have ticks. So a dog can get flea, but they won't get ticks. We don't have that many crazy wild animals that will carry it. So when I was explaining what ticks would do and Lyme disease and stuff like that, they were like, "Ooh, that sucks. Why do you live in America?" Right? I was like, "Oh no, I only learned about ticks once I moved to America." We have leech, we have ticks. No, we have leech, we have fleas. We don't have ticks. But spiders, we have like cockroaches this size. That's just everywhere. I literally forgot about it because me and my friends were outside his shop smoking cigars, waiting for Uber to show up. And all of a sudden, I was talking, and this thing just zoomed by my foot. I was like, "What was that?" I was like, "Oh, I forgot. There's cockroaches everywhere." Big giant cockroaches zoomed by my foot. I thought it was an animal.
Wow.
Cockroaches are big, and then they're everywhere. They're everywhere. That street's clean. I took a picture of the street. The street's clean. There's no trash on the floor. It's right next to a highway. And nope, there's cockroach. Cockroach over here is like tiny. Cockroach over there is like that big. Also spiders. Spider over here is about they're big, maybe. No bigger than your thumb. No bigger than your thumbnail. majority of the time. The spiders in Taiwan, legs so long, it looks like things from Alien movie. It will be able to cover your entire face. Those are the spiders that we have. However, that spider doesn't like to move. If you don't touch it, it'll be in the same spot for years. How many years? I can tell you, and I probably told this story before. When I lived in the house that my grandfather had bought, even after he passed away, there's one spider has been in the same spot for at least 10 years.
Because it was dead. That's why. I don't know any spiders that live that long.
Because one day my dad decided to kill it. It's literally, okay, so where my dad sleeps goes up a stair. It goes a stair, and then you have maybe a 2 feet or 3 feet by 3 feet area to stand. Then there's a door. You open the door, you go into the room, there's a bed. But as you walk up the stair, you look up, it's there staring at the stair. It's there staring at the stair. So every time my dad walks up the stairs, he had to see that spider. I had to see that spider walking up the stairs with my dad. Now, at the time, my dad is divorced, so he constantly brings new lady home. Somehow they all have the same name. I'm pretty sure they're different, but they all have the same name. So it bothered one of the lady, and one day I was just lying there watching TV. My dad's like, "We need to kill that spider." I was like, "Dad, that spider has been there ever since I remember." So yeah, that spider has been there for like 10 years. Because like, you know, when I was young, it was this small. So my dad decided to kill it because I think it's dead too. It never moves. It never moves. At least to my knowledge, it never moved.
Maybe it was hibernating.
I don't know. It never moved. Here's the thing though. When that spider is there, I've never seen any insect on that floor. Any other insects other than that spider, I've never seen it.
Oh, yeah, because that was their food source.
Okay. So my dad decided to spray at it.
Did it jump?
Oh, it ran all over the place and dropped. But when it died, it shrunk to like something like that tiny. Like
shriveled up?
It shriveled up. Very, very tiny. So that's how I know that spider's still alive. And I was so scared as a kid because my dad put it in the trash bag and then tell me to take the trash out. And for us to dump the trash, we need to walk. We're in the village, right? So to dump the trash, we had to walk out a little bit. So I'm carrying that trash bag in my back, and like, that spider's gonna come out and bite me.
Yeah.
My dad's like, "Oh, it's dead. It's fine." It's like, why don't you carry that? You know?
No. Well, maybe that spider died and his brother took his place.
No, that part never had a spider. But what I found later on, I found a centipede in the house when I was sleeping. So that stairway, once you walk up, there's a room right there, right? There's 2 beds right here to the other side. 2 beds on the other side. And then there's a little bit like a area where you can see downstairs. So I sleep on one of those beds. One day I woke up and I saw a damn centipede just moving. That tiny. It's about this big. It's just walk. That was my first time ever see a centipede. I was like, "What the hell is that?" I was like, "Dad, see something crawling." And my dad came over and says, "Ah, yeah, that's a centipede.
Did you
Don't
kill
touch it. You're gonna die if it bites you." That's what my dad said. "You're gonna die if it bites you." I was like, "Dad, that's very assuring. I'm sleeping on a place that has centipedes."
Should you go find a spider to keep him in the house then?
No. And my dad's trying to kill it with a freaking slipper. It just won't die. So my dad in the end took a napkin, picked it up, and burned the entire napkin. And I always remember that. I was like, from that point on, I hate centipede. I got bit by a brown leucos. Not sure if I spelled that right. Spider in my leg. My ex-wife got bit in the ass. We both had a surgery done to get the poison out. We live next to the wood. Wait, how that work? You can't really get a poison out from a surgery. The surgery can remove necrosis.
Maybe, yeah, or maybe she developed an abscess.
Yeah, but you can't get the poison out from that. You had to get what did they call it? Like shoot, what is that term?
Cauterizer.
A liquid that cures you. That anti-venom. All right, you had to get an anti-venom to neutralize that venom, and you got to cut off the part that has went bad. So it's not necessarily the surgery that removed the poison. You can't remove the poison. You remove muscle tissues that has been melted because the poison is acidic in nature. You got to kill it. You got to cut it out, or else it continues to rot.
Yeah, it'll travel.
Yeah. Yeah, but okay. For those people who think that you can just suck the poison out and get the poison out, there's no way, okay? Do not ever do that. You die faster.
It looks good on TV, though.
It looks good on TV. All right? Don't ever do that. All right? The only good part about, the only correct part on the TV is probably to tie down your blood vessel so it doesn't travel through your blood vessel.
Yeah, you put a tourniquet on them, have them sit down, relax, slow your breathing down, and then you got to get treatment.
Right? You got to get your anti-venom quick.
Yeah.
All right? Don't try to suck it out. I don't care where it is.
It don't work.
In fact, if you travel to your mouth,
then you get it. Get it.
And through your mouth is even faster.
Yeah.
You got to burn your throat, burn your mouth, everything. Don't ever do that. Right? I know people's like, oh, I got bit. Suck it up. No, that doesn't work.
It don't work.
I actually saw a video on Instagram. A person was trying to suck the blood out while the friend is passing water so he can rinse his mouth. And the first comment on that video was, is this person still alive? Don't ever do that. If you got poison, you see reaction. So when the bite goes down, it hurts and it starts to spread. Don't move. Call the ambulance. Your local hospital usually 90% of the time will have anti-venom that treats majority of the insects that is poisonous or snake in your area.
Yeah, they're regional. Yeah.
So calling ambulance is the correct way to do it. Don't think that, oh, they're not going to know how to treat. No, they will have it. They will have it. They will have what is needed to treat local problems. And make sure you call the local one. Don't call something that's like, I'm going to call my doctor in New York. I got bit by in Massachusetts. No, call your local one. Right? And if you kill the spider, it's good to keep the spider so they can tell what that spider is, because most likely you don't know.
Yeah, they can
whatever insect that you
hopefully
got bit from. Whatever thing that you get bit from, snake or whatever, keep if you got bit by a snake, first thing you want to see is what kind of snake it is. If you can't identify it, remember the print, color, print, size. If it's an insect, if the insect is dead, like when it bit you, like it killed it, don't touch that hand. Do not touch any part of your body afterward. Right? Once you kill it, you want to take a picture of it or save that so that they can tell what thing bit you. Your wife don't count. If your wife bit you, don't beat them. But and and then you call the local hospital. They will have anti-venom. Majority of the time, I rarely see that places don't have anti-venom. They have it. I literally, that's like storage wise. That's every hospital have blood types of blood stored. Every hospital has anti-venom. We live in the woods in a trailer park at the time. I was off work for 3 months to let the muscle tissue regrow before I returned to work. Well, your muscle tissue isn't gonna regrow. It's gonna seal up. It never regrows. Especially if it came from a cutout of venom. It will never regrow. Unfortunately. Human, for some reason, cannot grow back a limb, but they can regrow skin. So, yeah. It will never regrow, okay? So if it basically just waited for it to heal. It's weird, right? Like humans, we can like let's say if you got a cut, right? The cut will regrow and you'll be fine. But if you got like a whole chunk of it off, it'll never come back. Especially skin. If you have more than like I forgot what's the standard, like 3 inches square. What 3 inches square. If you have more than 3 inches square, it doesn't grow back. It seals up, but it will never grow back. After a certain sizes, now you have to cut a piece of your butt and then put it on there.
Graft it. Yep.
So that does happen. That does happen. So how's your cigar today?
Mine is woodsy and peppery.
Woods and peppery, very standard.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Nicaraguan tobaccos tend to have that characteristic, so you know what to expect. If you smoke long enough, you know what to expect from a Nicaraguan tobacco, right? Usually, you gotta get either or. You gotta get a jalapa taste, or you gotta get an esteli taste. One is woodsy, the other one is earthy. So you're saying it's just skin, not muscle and skin. You're not gonna grow back muscles, okay? So muscle mass is different than cutting out a muscle. When you cut out muscle, you never come back. When you lose muscle mass, you could rebuild the muscle mass. So think of it as a fiber that has gotten bigger or smaller, but it does not get more. Once you cut it out. So like, let's say if I just cut off my tricep right now, that place will forever have a hole. It will never come back. Right? It'll seal itself up, close up the loop, but it will never grow back. Muscle is a how do I describe that? How do you describe that, Val?
Muscle is soft tissue.
Yeah, but it doesn't
but
grow
it's
back.
dense. It's dense.
It doesn't grow back. Okay, so you can build muscle, and the building block of muscle is carb, it's carbohydrate. But when it gets longer, it gets more, but it doesn't grow back. Does that make sense? How do I describe that? Muscle, once you cut it out, it doesn't grow back. You can extend the muscle, but you can't grow back a muscle. Right? Is that the correct way to explain that? Hold on. Let me get another cigar. I don't think I have enough cigar to explain this. All right. Muscle is a fiber. It's a soft tissue. It's like a straw. You can connect the straw together. The straw can get stronger and longer, but once you cut the straw, it cut the straw.
That's a good analogy. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I am not a biology specialist. I can only explain it in the extent that I understand it. I don't think I ever asked a doctor to explain to me how muscle works. But that's how it works. So think of it as it's a system of straws, or fiber optic, what you want to call it. But once you cut it, you have stopped the connection of that muscle, and it will never go back. It will bind onto another fiber and continue to work as such, but it will not grow back. Bones will grow back. Flesh will somewhat grow back. It is considered as scar tissue. They'll somewhat grow back, but they're not the same. So your skin, when it grow back, it's not the same. Unless it's skin over skin. So on the surface, it dies, and the bottom will have new skin. Yes, that will grow back. But if you cut it, it's not gonna grow back as the same skin that you have. It has lost portion of its information and it grows out as scar tissue. Man, I never thought it was gonna be that hard to explain that. I should have like Google explain that. It's a lot clearer. Very limited English to describe that. That's why when you cut out a certain part, it never comes back. Which is weird because certain animals can lose an entire part and grow back, but we can't. Like fox will lose their tail. You can take the entire tail off a fox, it'll come back. Right? Lizard will grow back a tail. I think for some reason humans just don't have that ability. Weird. In order to grow back bones, you must have another bone for it to grow onto. That's another thing. You can't just cut off a bone and expect that to grow back. Even with the fracture. For a fracture, you need to have that other side of the fracture for it to attach it on. You cannot grow that much bone. Human is actually a very fragile thing. If you really think about it, here's a sad part, okay? The more medical things you understand, the more you know how human is fragile. Human is one of the most fragile things out there. Everything out there can technically kill you. You don't believe it? Try to go into the water with full of amoebas. All you need is one amoebas. You might die. A single cell parasite. Single cell can kill you. Single cell. You have millions of cells, but one single cell can kill you. Yeah, fox will, a lot of time, fox will allow things to grab onto its tail and it will lose its tail and go. The tail will grow back. So sometimes you'll see an animal try to bite onto a fox that's playing dead, just like try to save his own life, it play dead. And the fox will allow them to bite the tail off and run. Light cigar. That's today's The More You Know. Yeah, human is very fragile. And I think that's when somebody became, lack of better terms, germaphobe. Very clean. Because they understand how fragile human is. And obviously to an extreme extent, right? They think that everything could kill them in terms of extreme stance. We also need those things. Right? Your body's full of bacteria. Your body is itself is a virus. So humans are fragile. What does that tell you? Enjoy every day of your life as if that's your last day. Smoke the cigar that you've been saving because you don't know if tomorrow you got to smoke it.
You know what? You have a good day when you wake up in the morning. That's
true.
That is the start of a good day.
Unless you don't sleep. But yes, if you wake up in the morning, it's a good day.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens, right? Like what happens the rest of the day, if you can wake up in the morning, it's a good day. Because now you got another day to solve your problems, if there was a problem. If not, you're enjoying the day. Today I have a long conversation with my wife about life, including that part, 40 years and all that stuff. Because she was talking about, she was reading this thing. Oh my God, look at this tunnel. Somebody decided to pull something out of it at the end, for sure. She was talking about how this person's wife spends, was it $8,000 a month allowance from her husband? And after she mentioned it, like of that, like more than half goes to investment. So I don't really think that's like a spending allowance or anything. But she doesn't work. So she's like, that must be nice. I was like, yeah, you didn't work for a whole year. You didn't like it. I told her, life sucks when you don't have a goal. Life sucks if your only goal every day is to figure out how to spend your money. Life sucks. And she's like, but I still enjoy it. I was like, I don't think that they do. I don't think they do. When your life is solely about how to spend money, your life sucks. I don't know if the English has this term. Chinese have this term says, I'm so poor, all I have left is money.
And that's why they say money isn't everything, right?
Money is just a tool for exchange, right? I was like, can you imagine this, right? You might think that people that wakes up in the morning go shopping every day. That's nice. But when you had to do that every day, now it's a chore. You got to find more flaws than good. Why? Because, when you had to be selective, you choose the best clothes to be on you, right? Oh, that looks good on me, so I'm going to buy that. That looks good on me, I'm going to buy that, right? But there is only so many clothes that's going to look good on you. When you have every day to select that, you got to find things that's more worse for you than good for you. She's like, what do you mean by that? I was like, okay, I review cigar every day. I'm going to find more cigar that I don't like than the cigar I like. I'm going to do that. Why? Because I'm no longer selective. I'm just going to pick out everything that I can find. So that's what I do. Now, your problem is that thinking that every day, if I go shopping every single day, I'm going to be happy because that's a female string, right? But why do you think all this famous celebrity has body image issues? Why? She's like, why? Also, because every day they got to try on clothes. Every day they got to go look at themselves and go, does this look good on me? And they got to find more things that don't fit them than the things that fit them. They got to find more things every day. Why is 1 out of 10 things only look good on me and 9 out of 10 things looks bad on me? Now you got to start to have body issues. You got to think that you're ugly. That's why things look bad on you. I'm the same thing. I review 10 cigars. 9 cigars are bad. People say Tony has issue with reviewing. His taste bud must be dead. Tony is critical. Tony is bad at reviewing. I'm not being selective. If you're selective, I'm interested in this, try that, and I only try the one that I'm interested in, then I probably won't have that problem. But if I want to try everything everybody's interested in, I'm going to find things that's only good at other people and not good on me. People tend to have issue once they got like their lifestyle change to that. It's nothing to work for to. You're not working towards something that you want, and everything become normal. And when shopping becomes a chore, you're working. Kim Kardashian and the Kardashian family, every day is fake. Every day is fake. They're working. They wake up in the morning, do their makeup, and start people following their videos. You think people's life is not interesting? I can't even find somebody to follow me our entire day and film something interesting. You can give me all the money in the world. I cannot keep my life interesting. Can you? Well, if I give you $1 billion right now, and just say for 365 days, you must do something interesting every freaking day, enough to make a video every day.
That's going to be hard to do.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's going to be difficult.
Right? People need to live with drama, and your work is your drama. Something had to happen. But when nothing happens and every day is the same thing, you realize that your life has nothing to look forward to. So people, if you're working hard, you're making honest money, and you got a cigar, feel good about that. Because you work your way to enjoy that. And you should really enjoy it. And if you don't, you'll realize that cigar is just a cigar. I think working is good. I think being busy is great. I think when somebody say, hey, you got to work for the entire week, that's good. Because after that week, reward yourself. And you'll feel that reward is so worth it. It's such a good reward. Right? If you have enough money to buy $1,000 cigar every single day, that cigar is just nothing to you. It's normal. It's like smoking a bundle. But if you had to work your way and go, you know what, this week I only have this money, this week I have that money, and I gotta save that. I finally got myself the first down pepper or first opus. That opus gotta taste so good, I don't care what it is. All right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
So working is good. A lot of people actually prefer to work after they retire, even if they have enough money. Life sucks. I'm pretty sure Val would prefer to work if that work allows him to only a few hours a day and still have whatever it is. I mean, minus the disability, right? If you don't have a disability, you'll probably want to do some work every day.
Yes. Yes.
Just a little bit. 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day. Why? Because our friends are working. What's the difference between you sitting over there and go to work? You go to work, you socialize. One full day work, come back, enjoy a cigar, have a whiskey. That whiskey is gonna taste so good because you work for it. This is why people still like whiskey, even after they retire, because finding whiskey is not that easy. That's a work. Finding the whiskey that you want sometimes is work. And when you finally get it, yes. Yes. But you'll never find, let's say, the owner of what's that brand called? Like a Kentucky whiskey place. An owner of that would never go to his storage and pick up a let's say Blinton.
You talking Buffalo Trace?
Or yeah, well, Buffalo Trace. An owner of Buffalo Trace will never go to his backstage and pick up a bottle of Buffalo Trace. Go, yes, I got a bottle of Buffalo Trace. Right? He will never do that. That bottle is gone. It's his work. He'll never go, yes, I got a bottle of this. But you, who like somebody like me, who had problem finding even a bottle of Buffalo Trace and find one, will be like, yes. If you got it for good price, you're like, yes. Right? You don't get to do that. You think Elon Musk care about what drink he got? He got so bored he make his own. I was telling her, like, people who make that kind of money, their life really sucks. And then she goes, I don't think Elon Musk hates his life. I was like, that's because you don't know how bad his life is. Like, let's take his family aside, right? Put his family aside. Imagine to be the person every day morning, first thing in the morning, you open up the news. It's about you. All right? And usually it's about what you fucked up. Rarely news is positive. Do you think Elon Musk really have to work? No. But why did he have to look for something else to work? Because he wanted that satisfaction of doing something. Because the news is always negative. You open up the news, Elon Musk did this, he sucked, he's a horrible person, Tesla sucks, blah, 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 every day. How do you be happy if you gotta wake up in the morning and look at it? You got to a point where you rather work and not never watch the news, never go on the internet because it's always negative. Right? It's always negative. Every day morning, every CEO out there that makes enough money that they don't have to work, they look at the news as negative. Every day they had constantly tried to find a way to flip that page and then get a good news out of them. But you got to find one good news out of 10, 15, 20 bad news. How is that life got to be happy? Life's not happy. I know that firsthand. Okay, I don't make that kind of money, sure. But I'll have 3 or 4 people says, Tony, you're doing a good job. Tony, you're doing great. And I have like 20, 30 people say, Tony, you suck. Tony's retarded. Tony doesn't know what he's doing. Every day. So I get it. When you have more negative news every day, that's not a life good. You traded that. Your success become a burden. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. So thank goodness this world has provided us with alternative stress relief, such as cigars, such as bourbon, whiskey, beer for some people, sports. Sports is one of those things that you get free pass to bitch at each other. I don't know how that works, but that's how it works. Sports is one free pass that you can literally stare at your best friend's face and say your team sucked.
Yeah.
Free pass.
Yeah.
You do that for a whole season, you'll go back and do it again. Right? So good thing there's a lot of relaxation things, right? I'm not particularly on clubbing and stuff like that, but I don't think club is a good stress release. I think club just makes you tired, forgot about what you did today. But things that you do that's a hobby of some sort are really good stress relief.
It's a good outlet, yeah.
Yeah. So this is another thing. Everyone in this world should have at least one hobby. Choose one. Pick one. Learn about it. Just randomly pick one. For guys, there's only a handful, right? Cars, watch, drinks, smokes. Right? Cars, watch, smokes. Yeah. Those things are, just pick one. All of them is going to be expensive. There's no cheap hobby. For example, Mike Clark, I think his hobby is to make woods and stuff, right? I'm pretty sure those tools cost arm and a leg. Tools are very expensive. But it's a hobby. Right? You like cars? Car parts are expensive. Fixing your cars, expensive. But it's a hobby. Watch, it's expensive. Learning how to make your own watch, expensive. Learning how to fix your own watch, very expensive. Yes, it's a hobby. Whiskey, okay, some are expensive, some are not. But when you start to have a collection, it starts to get expensive. It's almost a burden because once you open a bottle, you're like, I have to drink this now. And every day you're looking at it, you're like, I want to open it. I want to open the bottle. I want to open the bottle. I want to open the bottle. But once you open the bottle, you got to be drinking that bottle for a week. Got to be start drinking it. It's a burden, but it's a good hobby because I think whiskey is a good way to to invite somebody over, to taste it, to have fun with it, talk about things and stuff like that. Watch sports. Sports, not as expensive of a hobby. I think sometimes will drive a person insane, but it's a hobby. Like sports will actually influence your emotion. I think it will. It affects it. Like I, for some reason, I don't have that problem. Like if the team I like loses, I don't feel bad. But I know some people just like they ruins their day. You'll ruin their day. Everything tastes bad for the day. Music sounds horrible, and then until the next game. But still a hobby. Pick up a hobby. Some people like to solve puzzle. Good hobby. Some people like to put puzzles together. Good hobby. Yeah, pick a hobby. Because when you have a hobby, you have a escape. And all those hobby has one thing in common. Time. When you're doing a hobby, that's your own time. You need time. Everybody needs time, okay? Every human being needs time for themselves. I don't care how much you love your wife, you need your own time. I don't care how much you love your family, you need your own time. You need that time where you can go to the corner of your room and scream and hope nobody hear it. I don't think anybody can tell me that they never have that time. Where like, I just wish I can just go scream. There's a guy who keep everything in there, right? And sometimes you just gotta let it out. And, you know, a lot of time we do it other ways. Sometimes we do it the most violent way possible, meaning driving or drinking or whatever. It's too much because you need that time for yourself. So, you know, make sure you have that time, right? And when you can no longer find that time, find a friend. Because you'll explode if you don't. Find a friend to talk about that problem. Even if that friend is just one cigar, talk to the cigar. It's true. Val, when you have something that's on your mind, wouldn't it be better if somebody was there to talk to you, even if they can't give you feedback?
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of problems seems a lot worse until you talk about it. Once you talk about a problem, you pretty much have a solution in your mind, just whether or not you want to do that solution. But if you say it out loud, like verbally say it, it's very different than thinking about it. Because when you think, you overthink, right? But when you talk about it, it's pretty simple. I have time where I you know, complain about certain things to my friends. At the end of that story, my friend just stares at me and go like, and then I go, that's the end of the story. I just told you. And you're like, that was it? Oh, that was it? It wasn't that big a problem. But in my mind, it was. I talked to my 2 dog, yes, having a pet, but pets are expensive. Pets are expensive. And as if you know Val hates walking his pets or walk the dog. Val, do you still walk that dog?
No, I don't have the dog anymore.
Oh, what happened?
The I don't know how and I don't know why, but for some reason that dog became aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
I can't explain it. That
So you
dog
give it
can
away?
be. Yes. You know, there are some dogs where I think for that particular working dogs,
Mm-hmm.
talk working dogs, shepherds, collies, hunting dogs. Those dogs need time and they need area.
They need exercise.
They need the exercise. Okay. I mean, that's built in them. That's their genetics. They have to be moving. They have to run. They have to be active.
As a puppy, they do.
Well, I mean, I
Oh,
think that if you have that type of dog and they're confined into a house,
mm-hmm.
and even though you take them out, I would take the dog out 3 times, 4 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
It still wasn't enough for me. It still was. The dog needs to be out there, out in a wide open space, and just running. Okay. I would take the dog. You know, when I started working with the dog and helping with the dog was grossly overweight. I felt sorry for the dog because the dog pretty much, uh, when the owners went to work, the dog was put in a kennel cage.
Mm-hmm.
The dog is confined all those hours from the time they go to work to the time they get home. And it's not enough to take the dog out, take them outside till they do their business and then bring them back in the house. And all they do is they're dormant.
Mm-hmm.
They have no interaction. And all they do is eat and they
Mm-hmm.
get overweight.
Sure.
So I mean, truly, that dog was tired after walking quarter of a mile. And I gradually built that dog up. Dog lost weight. Dog was in great shape. We started doing our walks again. Our morning walks, we started out. I built it up the morning walk to a mile and a half. The afternoon walk, we do a 2 to 2.5 mile. The early evening walk, we do a 3 mile. And the night walk, I would do about a 4 mile walk with the dog. Okay. And it was walking and a little jogging and walking and a little jogging with the dog because you have to build them up to the walk so they can lose weight and get back to exercising. But for some reason, and I can't explain it, uh, the dog the dog became aggressive to kids.
Okay. Have you removed its balls?
Yes, even after that. Um, and here's the thing: the dog would be perfectly fine, and out of nowhere, boom.
Have you
And
tried
then
the
I
Asian way?
would shoot him.
No, the Asian way. You take a pot, like a sauce pot, bring it over the knife, put on the ground,
No, no,
and just smack it in the face one time. And like, you want to be in here? You want to be in here?
no,
No. Okay.
no. Never tried it. And uh, one time, and this is, and people, I tell you what, I firmly believe this, and it's hard for kids. It's hard for kids
Mm-hmm.
because kids don't understand,
Right.
and they're at the eye level of the dog.
Mm-hmm. So they're gonna
Depending
stare
on the
down.
depending on the size of the dog. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right, but dogs, when you look eye to eye, that's like a challenge.
I do it to my dog all the time.
Well, that's what, yeah, but what's the difference between you and your dog? You're taller than your dog.
Right, but we bring him on the bed. I mean, here's the thing. I challenge my dog all the time. I gotta make sure that he knows who's the boss, and that's the Asian way.
Well,
So we gotta
well,
make sure the
yeah,
dog knows who's the boss.
yeah, well, yeah, that too, and the response is the dog was never aggressive with me.
Because he knows who walks him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I was closer with the dog. I did more things with the dog. I could give the dog his food, okay, and I can take the food away, and the dog would never growl, wouldn't snap or nothing. But somebody else would do it. They growl,
Okay.
but never with me.
Huh.
Anybody else in the family, they would do it, but never with me.
Yeah. I mean, the dog only acknowledge you to be the leader and
Yeah,
aggressive towards others.
yeah, yeah. But after that happened, not once, I let it go. The second time, and my thing was that if the dog bites, they got to go
Mm-hmm.
because if it happens once, it's going to happen again.
Wear a muzzle
Uh, Muzzle.
for until they learn.
Um, but yeah, so it got to the point where I know, not anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and ended up giving the dog away. But the dog, I think, ended up because my backyard is wide open. It's not fenced.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, so it's not like I can just open up the door, let the dog run out and do what it wants to do. You know, run around all over the place or anything like that. But the dog, and I think the dog ended up in a better place.
Mm-hmm.
It had much a wider space than I have in my back, and I have a fairly big backyard.
We got a swimming pool taking
Yeah, I
half your
mean,
backyard. So
yeah, it's I have a fairly big backyard, but it's not fenced. Whereas where the dog went to, uh, it was somewhat fenced. It went to a farm. It went to a farm.
see, Val, your problem is you remember you complain about nobody use a swimming pool.
Yeah,
If you let the dog swim,
yeah,
that's the whole day. Yeah,
yeah.
my dog was very tricky to deal with, and really does what he wants. And there were a few times it was kind of mean to other people. So eventually I had enough of it. I was like, you know what? We're gonna train the dog my way, the Asian way. And one day I just sat down with the dog. I was like, you need to stop. And from now on, I'll watch your move, and I'm not gonna be lenient like my wife does. So when he gets start growling at people, I go over there, grab his tail, and on the face. And now super lenient, which is really funny because when we're out in the backyard, he was running around the backyard, doesn't want to come home. My wife will call him all the time. He would not come home. And then she would be like, I'm going to tell daddy you're not coming home. Go right back home.
Yeah.
You got to know the role. Okay. So, yeah. With that being said, now it's 11:14. We both enjoy a good cigar. I think, even though, the Dragon is not my preferred cigar, but once in a while, it's actually not bad. Once in a while, you had to go back and revisit a cigar. You never know. Your taste might change. So, revisit cigars are good. We're good. So, our next one, I believe, is going to be... I forgot about it already. But we are going to do the pairing for next month. Right? And we are going to do... There was another cigar we talked about we're going to do. Which one was that? Now, where's Joey when you need him?
Yeah, where's Joey when you need him? Yeah, I don't know. I should.
But I'll post another one. Just keep eye on the post. I'll post before the cigar time for Saturdays, and then we can go from there. I believe that we have one choosed up already, so we can do that. All right, and we also have pairing. Make sure you keep your pairing ready, so when we do it, we can do it. Anyone had the Kinsugi Wabi Sabi? Yes, I did. I did have the Wabi Sabi. I think it was not very impressive. I think it's like a very beginner flavors linear cigar. So I don't think it's where it's supposed to be. It's where I think it's almost lighter than the regular Kinsugi, but I did have it. I'll revisit it. Maybe put out a review or something like that. Okay. So that will be it for today. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Again, next Saturday, there's no show because I'm not home. Okay. And after that, we'll get back to a regular schedule. I'll put out some reviews. I have some reviews sitting over there that I need to put out. So I have 2 other cigars I smoked recently. And I will put out the review for the La Union Black soon. So everybody can watch that as well. Okay. So that will be it. Okay. I will see you guys Wednesday.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Do a cut, do a light, and put some smoke out there.
Well said.